What is going on, community? It is TJ, aka Flash by Night, and we are back here for the re-up. But first, if you are watching this during the premiere or anytime Thursday, happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to the military veterans out there. And if you are a friend of, family of, support system of a veteran, if you have helped a veteran, fed a veteran, talked to a veteran, whatever it may be, I also thank you, because veterans are not veterans without their support systems. So happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. And we are going to get into the comics I have basically my new comic book day haul for the last 2 weeks. I skipped last week because I only got a few books, and on those days when I only get 3 or 4 books, I may just wait and combine it with a second week. And so that's what we did: last week's books, this week's books, and we are going to show off a little bit of a haul. So with that being said, the first book I have for you is Dark Hawk number 3. I have not read issue number 2 yet, but as most of you know, this Dark Hawk book stars a new character as Dark Hawk, young man, pretty popular basketball star, but has MS, if I'm not mistaken, and it kind of strikes him hard. And then this stone or gem, however Dark Hawk works, finds him, and he becomes the new Dark Hawk. I don't know too much about the Dark Hawk character himself. This is kind of new to me, but it's Kyle Higgins writing, and I've heard that from people who've read through issue 3, the series is really good. So we're gonna give this a look sometime soon. I need to catch up with some of my books. I didn't know what a backlog was, but I think I'm getting a clue of what a backlog is. So we're gonna catch up on this and see what's going on in this book. The next book is a book I did read, Dark Knights of Steel issue number 1, and I did a review on this book already in Keeping Up with the Comics. And I'll tell you what, this book is something else. It's basically a high fantasy medieval telling of the start of the DC universe, with some interesting family dynamics going on. As you can see, Kal-El isn't the only person that made it from Krypton to Earth, and that makes for some interesting storytelling. So we're gonna keep going with this series and see where it goes. It's written by Tom Taylor. I think it's off to a pretty good start, and I hope you check it out, see what's going on. Speaking of Knights, my next book is Knighted number 1 from AWA Upshot. And this book is basically a story where we have a regular everyday Joe, not quite down in his luck, but his life's not going great. He's just regular, and people kind of look over him and everything. But his regular days are gonna change because he accidentally kills the city's vigilante hero, and he is going to have to take his place. So Knighted number 1 started out pretty good. I think it's a 5-issue series, and we'll see where it goes. Last Flight Out, issue number 3, another one of those books that I read issue 1 but have not read issue 2. But basically you have this guy here, this engineer, I forget his name, but he is responsible for this program that's got these 3 gigantic arcs leaving Earth, because Earth doesn't have long before it's uninhabitable. And the 3rd arc is about to leave in about 24 hours, and his daughter is nowhere to be found. He was kind of an absentee parent, so she's probably rebelling. She may be one of the people who doesn't want to leave Earth, because everybody doesn't believe in, in the let's say climate problems or whatever's making the Earth uninhabitable. Everybody's not a believer, and so some people are staying behind. She may or may not be one of those. I haven't gotten that far yet, but Last Flight Out issue number 3, I'm gonna definitely catch up on this, because issue number 1 had me hooked already, just with the countdown and the 24 hours to see how a resolution comes. Next book is Good Luck issue number 5 from Boom Studios. This book by Matthew Ehrman was basically a book about the idea of everyone having some kind of luck, mostly good luck in the world, except for these few kids, the unfortunates. There were some luck gods, a good luck god and a bad luck god, and they kind of met each other, and there was a kind of luck Big Bang, if you could call it, and these unfortunates kind of go in to study and see if they can complete a mission to kind of send things back to normal. And there are some revelations in this book about one of the unfortunates. And I've read through issue number 4, and I'm interested to see what's in issue number 5 and how this story wraps up. My next book, and I think my last book for last week, is a book that's going to make me keep telling the same story over and over again, but I haven't started yet, and it is Killadelphia issue number 18. The reason why I say that is because I have not got past issue number 1 yet, and every time I pick up a issue of Killadelphia, because of the killer covers, I always say that I'm going to go back and start at issue number 2 and read forward and try to catch up. But I haven't gotten started on that track yet. I'm still stuck at issue number 1. But everybody that I know has said that Killadelphia is an awesome story. I'm going to take their word for it. One day I'm going to take off and run away from everything, away from all responsibility, away from civilization, and have time to just catch up on stories like Killadelphia. But Killadelphia number 18, I'm sure is a pretty good, a really good story. And like I said, I really love the cover. My first book for this week is a book that's probably going to take a couple of reads, because the first issue is probably going to take another read for me to really get a sense of what's going on. And that is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. Now, to be honest, the first book I got because the guy on the front, the guy on the front of the cover looked pretty familiar, and he looked like he could really handle himself. But the story about this guy, assuming that he is the guy on the cover, the story didn't quite go that way, and it was a mostly art-driven story, like 90% art, 10% dialogue, and kind of lets you guess and make up your own narrative to what happens. But you've got a guy who seems like a pretty nice guy, and through some of his interactions with people throughout the day. But then he kind of comes to this house he's been trying to get to, and people have been murdered in this house, and that's kind of where he runs, and that's kind of where they leave off. And you have to kind of make up your own narrative and kind of get to what the story is supposed to be by yourself. And I assume that issue number 2 is the same, so I may have to read issue number 1 or 2 times more before I sit down with issue number 2 and figure out what A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance is really about. Another issue number 2 where I haven't read issue number 1 because I missed it. I tried to order it in my store and I missed it. But Citizen number 2 from Action Lab. I don't know if anybody else really ordered this, but the premise was interesting. Citizen number 1 was about a city and a person who works in this city where he is the only human, non-superpowered human in the city. Everybody else in the city, I assume his co-workers, the firemen, the mayor, the plumber, I assume everybody else has superpowers from the way it's described, but this one person. And I wanted to check it out. I also wanted to check out a small book that nobody else was checking out. But I missed out on Citizen number 1. I can catch it on Comixology, which I'm going to be using to catch up quite a bit in the next few days. But issue number 2, we'll see what's in it. And I tried to pre-order issue number 3 and 4 because I think that's either the series or at least the end of the first arc. And so I'll check it out and see what's in here and let you know if it's fun or not. I assume it's probably not very serious. So we'll do something about it. We'll talk about it and bring you the good, bad, or ugly. My second to last book, Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 78. Of course, we have right now we have, is it 78? Yeah, 78. We have Ben Reilly as our Amazing Spider-Man right now, as Peter Parker is incapacitated, we'll put it like that, and he's working for this Beyond Corporation, who I don't trust. I mean, it's a corporation in the Marvel Universe. Is there a good corporation in the Marvel Universe? I don't know, but he's working for the Beyond Corporation, and they're probably kind of underhanded. I assume soon enough he's going to learn that, and it's going to be a very harsh lesson for Ben. I've got this 10th anniversary Miles cover. I have no idea why Miles is kind of half Miles, half symbiote here. I don't know if there's symbiotes in the story, but we'll check this out, see what's happening. As I said, I ordered, since this is like a weekly book, I ordered through issue number 81, where there is a crossover with Miles Morales Spider-Man, just to see, just to give the book a try for a few issues, see if I like it, and if I like it, I'll keep going. If not, somebody will get it. It's Amazing Spider-Man. And last but definitely not least for my new comic book pickups for the last 2 weeks is Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue number 32. That is right. As you can see on the cover, we have Miles, we have Starling, and Taskmaster. So in issue number 31, it was pretty straightforward. Miles, Starling on a date, trying to set the mood outside, and Taskmaster gets paid to come and hunt one of them down. If you have not seen the review for it, you can go back and see the review for it, but I will tell you that Taskmaster almost always gets his man or woman. We'll see which one is which. But he did kind of get whoever he wanted in issue number 31. I assume 32 is the resolution, and this may be a two-parter because issue 33 is the crossover between this and Amazing Spider-Man with the Beyond Corporation. But we'll check out 32, see how it shakes out. I am still trying to get used to this new suit for Miles. As I said before, I don't mind the makeup of the suit. I don't mind the black and, is that pink? Is that I don't know if I want to say fuchsia, but I'm not sure what other color this is. But I don't mind the color scheme for the suit. But the hoodie just looks bigger and bigger to me every time I see it, and that's a little bit of a drawback. But we're not here to talk about my opinions on this suit. We're here to talk about the fact that Miles Morales is being hunted down by Taskmaster, and we'll see how it works out for him in this book. And that was the re-up. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you saw something you liked. If you did enjoy yourself, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you want to keep up with me picking up my comics, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. As always, leave comments. I try to answer back as quickly as possible whenever I can. I love the engagement, so the comment section is wide open. But as we always do at this time, love yourself, love others, thank a veteran, and I will be back in a flash.